All right, welcome to the presentation. I'm calling it Two Dirt Cheap or Free Ways to Grow Your Internet Business. And what I want you to do is grab a pen and paper or pull up Word or Notepad on your laptop because this is going to be extremely fast paced and there's going to be a ton of content in it. Everything I'm teaching you here will be helpful to you regardless if you're a newbie or maybe you've been in the game for a while. And this is what's working right now and will continue to work 20, 30, 50, 100 years into the future, and probably beyond that, actually. And I realize that's a big claim, but I think I can back it up in this presentation. So stick around. I really think you're going to enjoy it. You're going to get a ton of applicable information. And like I said before, in the title of this presentation, these strategies are dirt cheap or free. So, you're not going to have to invest a lot of money to get this to work. And there's two steps to success, and whether you've heard it or not, success online and offline, for that matter, really only comes down to two things. If you can master these two things, there really is no limit to your success. And that sounds like a big claim, but trust me, if you can get these two things nailed down, you'll be successful beyond your wildest dreams. And you've probably heard it before, but it's traffic plus conversions. And if you can master both of those things, like I said before, you'll be extremely successful. So in this presentation, you're going to learn the simple system to get up to 10 times, to get up to a 10 times increase in conversions. And you'll also learn the highest converting, dirt cheap, and many times free traffic method that will never become outdated. So there's never going to be, a change in Google's algorithm. This is going to work forever. Okay, so you learn this strategy and it's going to work and work and work, and you'll never really have to concern yourself with a lot of other things if you can master this. So these things are simple yet really, really powerful. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to convert cold customers or cold visitors into hot and bothered prospects or customers, so people that are itching to buy your product. Now, to learn copywriting, you could spend thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars buying courses or hiring someone to do it for you. In fact, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on copywriting services myself, and years of your life. You could spend years of your life trying to master the trade. Or you could just learn the easy way of doing it, which is what I'm about to teach you right now. So the easiest way to do this, to accomplish this goal of making your advertising sell more, is simply to, in the words of Gary Bencivenga, make your advertising itself valuable. And really, this is probably the best advice I've ever gotten about all of marketing was from a legendary copywriter, Gary Bencivenga, who this quote came from. And he's universally regarded as the greatest living copywriter. Ask anyone out there and they're going to say, yeah, Gary Bencivenga is the best alive right now. So he said, and what his quote was, again, was to make your advertising itself valuable. Unlike so many other advertisements out there, which all they do is pitch, right? So here's the truth. People hate to be sold to. We run when we smell a sales pitch unless we're extremely hot to buy something. And let me just say, hype is dead. You've probably seen sales letters like this before that are, make $198,000 every month for anyone who can click their mouse 7 times. Like that's the one on the very bottom there, if you can see that. It cracks me up because that's not going to happen, okay? Clicking your mouse 7 times to make that kind of money. And, this stuff does sell, but it sells to, a different type of crowd. And a lot of times this results in really high refund rates because most of these people cannot deliver on their extremely, hypey promises. So here's how to sell without selling. And the first rule is to make your advertising look valuable. In other words, you don't want it to look like an advertisement, right? So studies show that a website visitor, you could apply this to TV or radio or anything, but this study was done for website visitors. The study showed that people unconsciously make up their mind about the trustworthiness of a website in less than 1 second. So you have 1 second to show people that you are trustworthy. Therefore, what you need to do is to get your foot in the door is to not look like a sales pitch. That's the very first thing you need to do. So the second rule of selling, or the second rule of Fight Club, I love that movie, is to give away amazing, actionable information. In other words, to make your advertising itself valuable. And this accomplishes a lot of things at once. First, it builds trust, which is the number one most important thing in my mind when it comes to selling. And second, if done properly, it can convert a person who maybe thinks that they don't need your product to someone that actually really, really wants it. And I'll explain how to do this in just a second. So only 3% of people are in the group of buying now. And this is a quote, an idea rather, from one of my favorite business thinkers, a man who unfortunately passed away recently by the name of Chet Holmes. He's the author of The Ultimate Sales Machine. And he described the concept of the buying cycle incredibly simply. He said only 3% of people are buying right now, while the rest aren't. Okay? And by educating people in a specific way, you can move people from the buying now or you can move people into the buying now category, excuse me. So here's something from his book, okay, something that he refers to a lot. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's a little bit blurry, but you can kind of get the idea just by looking at it. So at the very top, the top 3%, those are the people that are buying right now, okay? And that doesn't mean that they want to buy your stuff. It means they're looking around and they have money in hand to buy something, okay? So, even if you have a great sales pitch, it doesn't mean that 3% is all going to buy from you, okay? So the next 6 to 7% is open to buying right now. 30%, the next little chunk below that, they're not thinking about it. 30% don't think they're interested, and the bottom 30% know that they're not interested. So with the typical sales pitch, you're probably only really connecting with about 3 to maybe 10% of people. And out of those people, maybe you'll convert 0.5% or 1% is kind of the industry average online. So with a different type of educational selling, you can now get the 30% who are not thinking about it or that think they're not interested, and maybe even the people that think that know they're not interested. Okay, and that's a specific way of doing it. And here's the actual system, the formula that you can use. It's problem, agitate, solution. So the easiest way to convince anyone to take a specific action is by getting them into pain. Okay, if they're not in pain, they're probably not going to take action. And I realize that sounds a little bit evil, but in my mind, if you have a really worthy product and you can truly help people, then use this strategy, But if you're scamming people, then just leave right now. Just close this window and stop watching now and leave. But if you have a great product or you're promoting a great affiliate product, use this strategy, okay? And what you need to realize is when people have an urgent problem, they're going to take an immediate action. So for example, if you have a broken arm, you're not going to wait to go to the emergency room. You're going to go right now. And what your job is, using this formula, is to find the research, find the data that will get people into pain, okay? Additionally, you can use solution, problem, agitate. It's just a little different formula using the same components. It's the same twist on, or it's a different twist on the same concept. And instead of leading with the problem, you lead with the solution. So you give out fantastic information about helping people solve, it's a problem again, but you're giving them the solution right away. And then what you can do is you can transition into something like this. You can say, look, here's the problem. Okay, so now we're moving from solution, which was giving out that great information, to the problem aspect of it. You say, look, here's the problem. This is only the tip of the iceberg. And then you say, you insert something else, another problem about not having your product or not taking another action. You say, to get to the next level, you really should check out my XYZ crazy awesome product, which gives you the exact blueprint of how to create the world's greatest thingamajigs, right? Whatever it is, whatever you're selling. So, you tell them that the problem is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to learn if you want to take this to the next level and you want to make it 10 times more effective. And that should be true, but at the same time, you should give out great information. And okay, so now we know that we don't want to hard sell. It's gross. Nobody likes it. But we're in the business of making money, so we have to pitch at some point, right? So here's a simple formula for pitching without being a sleazebag. And essentially what you say is, here's what I've got. Here's the problem, or here's the product or service that I have. Here's what it's going to do for you. It's going to solve all of these problems and give you all of these benefits. And here's what you can do to get it right now. Here's the action you need to take advantage of this awesome, awesome product. And then what you want to do is you want to make your proposition as user-friendly as possible. So how to put even more green stuff in your pocket. We're still talking about this user-friendly proposition. And one of the most powerful things you can do to close the sale is to give massive, massive proof. The more undeniable proof that you give that your product or service is the absolute awesome, most awesome thing out there, the better. So you can do this by giving really good testimonials. Don't fake these or anything, but go out and get great testimonials for your product. And if you have a great product, it's going to work. These testimonials are just going to be there already. People are going to, say this product is awesome. It helped me make more money. It did this. It helped me lose weight, whatever it is. Give an awesome demonstration of the product, right? Look at an infomercial. What do they always do? I mean, as much as you might hate an infomercial, which they are hard selling, a lot of times some crappy stuff, but they give you a demonstration of that their product works, okay? Another way to do this is to give a killer guarantee or a free trial. So, and something else that I should mention here is by giving out great information, that's proof in itself. So what to do next? Well, selling is a very comprehensive topic, and it's really hard to cover everything in this short video, but I really think if you take what you've learned here and you put it into use, you're going to see some great results. But there are some more advanced things that I have to teach you. So what I want to do is send you a really detailed report. It's completely free, and it includes fill-in-the-blank templates for generating headlines, using the problem agitate solution. It talks about something called the core story, which is phenomenal. And you can get it by signing up on the next page using your primary email address, which is going to appear soon. And also I'm going to give you some other really cool advanced techniques for selling more stuff without being sleazy. And I'm going to actually give you some really good pointers and templates and stuff for the traffic strategy, which is I'm going to explain in the very next video. So part 2 is coming up next, and you're going to learn the most powerful way to get a boatload of dirt cheap, really penny per click traffic or less. All right, so if you want to get access to part 2 and everything else that I have for you, including a really killer report, all you need to do is opt in on the next page, which is going to appear soon. So just put in your primary email address, and I'll see you in video 2.